About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night prime time. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first. The Eagles still looking for that first win. 0-6 to start the year. And really, it's just sort of been one thing after another, Charles.
It certainly has, and they're one of those teams that while all teams talk about starting fast, that's like, topic 1, this team never has. That's been an issue for them all season long. And because of that, they've never been able to catch up during games.
2nd and a couple. Now a handoff up the middle. Callaway. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. This rushing attack sure looks pretty effective here on this opening drive.
Yeah, they're finding gaps with very little problem right now. If this is going to consistently be this way throughout the game, there's going to be some adjustments made on the defensive side of the ball.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Hurts to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
Throwing is Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Hurts toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
To throw is Daniels. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now Daniel's going to keep it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. So the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And his kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Off
the play fake. Here's Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Smith. 4 yards on the pickup.
Second down and 6 now. From the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Solid footwork, but not able to get a whole lot. Brought down shy of the 10. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got him pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
3rd and 4. Play action, now it's Daniels. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Commander's first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
17-yard line.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Going quickly there, but it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short. So it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
They'll try and run for it. Krosky Merritt trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Daniel's going to try to sneak. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. Credit there goes to those guys up front.
It certainly does, but we're also seeing how quarterbacks are doing it nowadays on the sneak. When I played high school ball, my coach John Ford used to say, just get down behind those guys and pick up the first down. Now these guys might hesitate a count, use their vision in their eyes, and find the crease and dive for it that way.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Washington Commanders first down. A gain of 19 yards. And the Washington first down.
On first down, it's Krosky Merritt. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This 2nd and 4. Daniels looking to throw. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 23 yards the pickup there.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Ready.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping the second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Daniels with a give to Krosky Merritt. He gets him a little bit closer. Takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Here's Daniels. Oh, the ball comes out on the hip, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Give that sack to Nakobe Dean. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And able to get this out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Barkley, inside handoff. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Ready.
To the air goes Daniels. Setting up the screen, Krosky Merritt. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive linemen. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield, and allow the play to be successful.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
That's another Washington Commanders first
Let's go.
down.
They'll try to run this one in. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now Daniels. This is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Commanders will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
That's caught inside the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead into the locker room. Elliott good with a PAT. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They'll run on first down. Pearson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Over the middle, he's got Lane. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 33. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half.
Commanders 16, Eagles 14.
So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39. So solid starting field position. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
And a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Off the play fake, Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. And he is caught. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And he gets this to the 35, good for a gain of 5.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
That's complete. Demario Douglas with it. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 22-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because of zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Up the middle, Krosky Merritt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
And a short gain here, down to the 22. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Early down steps to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They'll go to Barkley again. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Out of the gun now on third down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Count away. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
They were backed up behind the sticks, but he still found a way to make that first down happen. That's the kind of fight every coach hopes his franchise quarterback has in him. Look a tough situation like that in the eye and come up with a solution on the spot.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Well, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces third and long.
He's going deep for Brown. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a second and 10. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Pass caught, it's Lane with it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards the pickup, first down Washington.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
The toss right side. Here's Krosky Merritt. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, ready? Reno! Let's go.
On first down, it's Pearson. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting this slip away.
Hey, check that. Let's go now.
They'll run on first down. Pearson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
They go play action. Daniels. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are right back in this football game.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. And that, nearly picked off. It would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's second down.
Oh, this defense knows. Fourth quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Throwing again on second and 10. Hurts to Barkley on the check down. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
A first down carry for Barkley. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. From Commander's territory now, it's first and 10 at the 36. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Jamie Sherwood there to make the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. Second and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On third down, Barkley. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the fourth down.
2-yard gain. It's fourth down.
Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And it'll be intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. There he goes, right side. So he picks it in one end zone, brings it all the way down inside the red zone.
And he took a gamble, didn't he, Brandon? I mean, he intercepted that in the end zone. Could have taken a knee there. They get the ball in their own 20. Great job taking the ball away. But he takes that chance, brings it out, and boy, what a conversion that turned out to be.
Here we go.
Give to Krosky Merritt. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Again, it's Krosky Merritt. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Come on, go.
On the bootleg, it's Daniels. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
He was brought down by Brandon Jones. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Here comes 2nd down.
Great. Set.
Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Well, the defense circling now. 4th down and 7. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
Okay, we've seen plenty of games. We've been there before. They thought they had this one over with if they could have stopped them right there on that down. Now they've got to continue to play. That's going to be tough.
That's tough because it was such great coverage. They had them blanketed, especially there in the secondary, but, hey, took off and found a way. Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15. They'll look to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
And that absolutely cannot happen. Just a gain of a yard in this situation, you've got to get chunks of yardage. Otherwise, the defense, very happy with what you're doing.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
What a kickoff to the week this has been. Now a big play. It's third down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now, has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Call the set.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all three timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Good gain there on first down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Washington now going to use the first of their three timeouts. That'll leave them with two remaining. We'll be back after this. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They certainly thought he had an open book beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Ready? 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Throwing now is Daniels. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Here's 3rd and 3.
Come on, come on.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But if the assignment gets mixed up, that's the end result.
Now Daniel's going to keep it. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So a victory here for the Commanders. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Washington, the victory means they'll up their mark to 5-3 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.